Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode and the final episode in my CSS variables mini-series. Now in this video we are going to be using CSS variables and all of the knowledge that we have been kind of acquiring over this tutorial series and borrowing a little bit of the stuff from previous tutorial series to just create a kind of dark theme kind of website ability. So like I'm going to use the blog kind of website layout that we used in the CSS grid mini series, which again I'll link to that video right here in the top right. But I will be adding like either a functionality where if you click anywhere on the website it will turn into dark mode, or I'll add some sort of like toggle, and then you can basically toggle between light and dark mode, and that will be where we're using our CSS variables. The actual HTML will just be copied again. Just like previous episodes in this series, I'm borrowing a lot from the 6th episode in the CSS Grid mini-series. So first of all, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Let me just turn down. I was watching some DevDuck. And then let me just grab the index.html, the style.css, and then let me just go ahead and open these. So to go ahead and start off, let's start up our live server just to see what we've got. As in previous episodes, we're starting here with the simple blog layout, and it's very nice. There's this blue, this white, and this color here, and I think we actually specified them somewhere. Yeah, we're using Azure, Alice Blue, and all that. So we're going to try to make some sort of dark mode. Now I will actually be basing it a little bit off, or at least the image portion off of this CSS tricks dark mode in CSS, and I'm going to go ahead and add that here so I can remember to include it in the video description down below. CSS tricks dark mode, just toss that in there. Perfect. And then, so yeah, now we have our blog layout here as specified in the last episode of the CSS variables or CSS grid mini-series. And this is where we're starting. So to go ahead and get started figuring out a dark mode, we're going to actually change around a little bit of what we've got here. So I'm going to come up here and create the basic CSS variable root, or using the root selector to use CSS variables, and we're going to create like a main color to be, or we're going to create a header color just to be the Azure, since we're using that. And then I will change the footer color to be this where did I put it? Right here, antique white. Now I'm wondering, navul li. I'm wondering if that is, if I'm not seeing that. Our header is Azure, but then navul and the li items themselves are Alice Blue. Oh, I see it. I'm on a low brightness screen, but yeah, I see the tiny difference. Sure, we'll have nav element color to just be Alice Blue. So again, now that we've set up our basic variables, we can go ahead and switch this to use the variables. So of course we're going to use the header color in the header, the nav element color in the nav selector, and of course the footer color down here. And notice I save, reload. It all looks the same coloring wise. In fact, I'm actually going to change this Alice Blue to be like a full blue, just so I can see it. No, let's make it some sort of color. Red maybe? Sure, red works. This looks really bad, but no. Let's try a light. Is there such thing as a light blue? Yeah, perfect. That's okay, perfect. So we have light blue, Azure, and then antique white. So now we have this differentiation here, and this is the color we're going to be using. Now, in order, or at least the way I'm going to implement dark mode, is going to be extremely simple. Now this may not be the best way to implement it, but it is the way where I can get my point across in terms of variables off the easiest. So even if this isn't the best method, it's a method that works. And in fact, I use this for my website, so it works well enough so that it's not causing me any major issues. But it might in the future if my styles get like a lot bigger. But I'm just going to have a dark and a light specifier. So let me edit these. So this will be light. So basically I'm specifying these are the light colors and these are the dark versions of those colors. So Azure is RGB 240, 255, 255. So that might be let's grab that. So I'm gonna grab the color and I'm gonna say darken color. And I'm just gonna grab this hex and I'm gonna darken the color this much. Then I'll just darken the color by this amount, and then I'll darken it by 90%, and then I will grab that new color, and that will be the dark header color. Perfect. Same thing with this light blue here. I'm going to replace it with the hex, and I'm doing that just using VS Code, and then I'm going to toss it in here with the hash, and again we'll darken it by 90%, and we will just use that as the dark mode color. Just this is a really cheap and quick way. This is not the best way by any means, but just to save some time, because we're not looking to get the perfect colors, we're looking to get dark mode working. So these all look somewhat similar, but let me turn up my brightness by 1 so I can see it a little bit better. And then let us figure out some JavaScript. So we have 3 sets of variables now, and now all we need to do is add in some JavaScript to help us change between the variables. So that'll be the largest part. And again, if you don't have the JavaScript knowledge, you can check out my episode on my Introduction to Web Development tutorial series, where I went over how to edit HTML with JavaScript. Or if you don't know JavaScript at all, you can visit the my JavaScript for Beginners tutorial series, either one of them. So I'm going to add a script down here at the bottom of the body, which will be script.css or .js, and then we will just add that there, script.js. And again, I just need to make sure that we are working here, index console. Perfect. So we have a working thing there. And then, okay. So if you remember from the previous episode where we worked on grabbing and editing CSS variables using JavaScript, we can actually grab the variables for the light and dark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable saying is dark is equal to false, or is dark mode. And then we are just going to say document element dot on click is equal to a function where, okay, so I'm just going to console.log hello for now. And every time I click, if you look at here on the right side, every time I click, it's going to say hello. And we can just use that to say is dark mode is equal to not is dark mode. And what that means is it's just going to change as dark mode. If it's false, then it'll go to true, and if it's true, it'll go to false. And the reason why is I'm saying is dark mode, I'm using the assignment operator, and not is dark mode is the opposite of what it currently is, so I'm setting the opposite to the actual variable. And again, if you know JavaScript, you will understand what that line is saying. So once we have dark mode, we want to say if dark mode, so if we're in dark mode, then we want to say, let's create a variable for the const for the document element style is equal to document.document element dot style. and then we can say document element dot style or style dot set property, and then we could say dash dash main or dash dash header color, and we could say get computed style document element style dot get property. So we could say const document element computed style, and then so we want to set the header color equal to the document computed style dot get property value of dash dash dark dash header dash color. So let me just see if this is working, which it's not. Failed to execute get computed style on document element, my bad. So we want to say document dot document element, and perfect. Okay, so notice right here what happens is when we click on the first time, it'll go to dark mode, but there's no way to turn it back to light mode. So I'll say else here, and then I'll just copy this, and we can so we set the header color, and instead of setting it to the value of dark header color, we could set it to the value of light header color. So now every time we click, we're toggling between the two for only the header. And again, really to get this working with our whole website, we just need to do this two more times. So we want to update the nav item color, if I'm not mistaken, nav element color. And then finally we want to edit the footer color. And again, dark nav element, and then dark footer color. And then let's see here. Footer color was set to that, and then dark dash footer color. There you go. And then finally, we just need to implement the rest of the light colors, so I'll just copy these two here. And instead of dark, we will use light and light. And then what we will do is we also, okay, so notice for now, clicking on this toggles and makes the header and the footers dark, but we actually also want to make the main website dark. So we can just say dash dash main color is white, because it is by default. And then of course dash dash main light main color is white. And again, and I probably should be consistent, so I'll just turn that into a hex, and then dash dash dark main color will be completely black, like that. And then we could set the body to have a background color of variable dash dash main color, and just like that, now we can, if I can get this to work, so I guess the menu and the main we might actually want to be the ones, so let's just get that working. Odd. There's something wrong here. Oh, my bad. So I actually didn't add the main color editor. So I'm just gonna put this back. So when it is dark, the body will have the main color, and here in our script, we will have to update the main color on the click. So I'll just copy this, and then we'll change it. Instead of updating the footer color, we want to update the main color with dark main color. And now when we click on that, it all goes dark. And then same here. So and then we want to change it to light. So now we can kind of toggle on that. And when the main color is dark, then what we want to do is set the color to probably the inverse of main color. I don't know. We're just gonna do this really quick, just so I don't take up too much time getting this all fixed up. So we're gonna just have an inverse of the main color, dash dash inverse main color, set to light main color, light, and then inverse main color when we are in light we'll set to dark main color, and that should all be working. And then let's just get inverse main color set to black here, and let's get this all fixed. Inverse main color, light and dark. There's a small syntax error somewhere. Not sure why there's an error here. Right, I missed a semicolon as always. Okay, so perfect. Now when we're in dark mode, notice all of the text becomes white, and that pretty much is just our dark mode, our very, very simple dark mode with variables. So to quickly recap what we've done is we took this website and we pretty much kept it all the same. Instead of using colors, we used the variables to represent the colors. And then here in our root, we have all of the different colors by default. And then we actually specify the light and dark versions of these colors. And to be fully honest, a better way to do this would have been to set these, for example, to light header color, or dash dash light header color, dash dash light elements, and then dash dash light footer color, and then variable dash dash light main color, and then variable dash dash dark main color. And just saving that, notice again nothing changed, except now we don't have to actually specify the colors twice. We can just set them to these variables to start with. So yeah, again, we are just having a variable for the light mode, a variable for the dark mode, and we're using JavaScript. So whenever we set is dark mode to false, and whenever we click on the document, we kind of toggle the variable. So if it's false, it'll go to true, true, it'll go to false. And then we are checking if it's dark mode, and if it is, we are just updating the variable values to the darks or the lights based on basically what we need to be doing at a given time. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to cover in this video. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you missed any in this series specifically, you can check out the playlist, which is linked in the description. And I will be starting, I believe, my Tailwind CSS tutorial series starting tomorrow or the day after, depending on what I decide to do with my schedule. But yeah, that'll be coming up soon. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.